Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Healing Place Energy School. We are two kick butt Reiki mistresses, Helen Chen Lu.
And Robin Bornstein. And also, Helen is a kick butt reflexologist.
Oh my gosh. It's so funny that one of the things that Robin and I started to talk about was spiritual ownership. And this part, I've been, Robin, in between seeing people for reflexology and energy healing, I just been creating courses for the Healing Place Energy School.
Yeah, tell us about I know you've been busy writing. So tell me, what is it you've been creating lately? Because I know about you have a few amazing classes over on the Healing Place website.
Yes, it is. And I'm just so thrilled to be part of people's world. First of all, one of the things that, because one of my buddies, Jean, who's been coming to see me for migraine headaches. For those of you, there's Jean. Oh, I love it. And because Jean has inspired me so, I decided to develop a 5-part class series just for migraines.
Oh, yes. A lot of people suffer from migraines.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And one of the things that the course, the 5 parts, well, Jean has been participating in face, head, ear reflexology.
Excellent.
And I made a special course just for Jean because Jean is so sensitive. I almost got to see Jean throw up at least a couple of times. I've seen you throw up, Robin, one time. Yes.
About getting the emotional baggage out.
Yeah, exactly. And then in addition to the face, ear, and head, I decided I'm going to do a hand reflexology and foot reflexology. So this way you could pick and choose. And I'm one of those people, I want to create important resources to help people because Robin and I cannot see everybody who wants to come to the Healing Place. Physically, it's not possible.
Yeah, there's only so many hours in the day. Yeah.
So many hours in a day. So I decided, you know what? I am going to create courses, online courses, and then eventually we could do courses live. So that's part of that. And people have been asking me for all kinds of reflexology courses. And one of the things that I mentioned to Robin, it's time, Robin, to talk about different, like even for, okay, here we go. I got an idea. Even for the migraine suffering, imagine you could do meditation to quiet down the body.
Yes. And I've had some killer migraines before that have actually landed me in the emergency room. So I get where, like, if somebody's suffering, what might help calm them down, what might help soothe their aching head.
Yeah, and very true. And, even we could do the reflexology, but I would love to talk about the energy medicine component. Why does the energy get stuck in the third eye? And, are you so empathic like Jean? Jean is like you, Robin, except Jean's even worse. She's like, I call her a sponge Babette. She's a sponge Babette. She will absorb everybody's energy like it's her own. So all you impact.
Yeah, and that can cause you to have a stress headache because you're taking on so much energy. It took me a long time to protect my spiritual field, to protect my energy field, which I call it's my aura, and being able to deflect what's coming at me. It takes practice.
It is practice.
That's where meditation comes in, and that's where, reaching out to the Healing Place and learning through coursework how to create the tools in your toolbox that will work for you.
Yeah, well, this is a great segue into what we are planning to talk about, which is about spiritual ownership. The word is boundaries. You see the parentheses and then I'm making boundaries.
Yes. And boundaries, are really hard for people. I think people have a hard time setting healthy boundaries.
Uh, Very true, because they feel like, especially if they're a healer,
Mm.
healers really believe that we are out to save the world, and I am going to be indisposed to everybody who needs help. And that is not true.
It's not true. It's not true. It's so not true. I don't know. I think it's a wonderful idea, but it's impossible. So you need to work on, I feel that healers need to, the people they need to heal show up in their lives, and they
Mhm.
don't need to run out looking for them.
Exactly. And I think about, you know, being a healer or anybody who's empathic, learning how to own what you have and not feel sorry that you can't be all things for all people at all times.
You just can't.
You just can't. Humanly, you can't.
Not really.
And when you end up diluting your energy to it's nothing, I'm going to say it like this: you're no good to anyone, let alone yourself.
So true. So true. So how do you, when you're teaching your clients, or you're coming up with a new class, what is your quick go-to for someone who's suffering right now, and they don't have the time or the energy to learn how to protect their spiritual space? Like, I know we've talked on the show before about the aura condom. We love to
Yeah,
envision protecting your aura field by pulling down this shield.
hold on the shield.
Pulling down the shield. So what would you suggest to someone who's in crisis, who needs to protect their energy to get their oomph back, to get out of their own way?
The first thing I always tell people: learn to say no, and learn to say no often, because
Mhm.
when you are at people's disposal, you're diluting your spirituality, because your spirituality is attached to your soul.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about religion, I'm talking about your soul and your spirit. And I believe we need the physical, the emotional, and the spirituality. And if any of the three are disconnected, this is where you end up falling apart.
Mm.
Health problems, you might be too much in your head, and you really become disconnected with who you are.
Yes, I agree. Overthinking never solves any
Oh,
problem. It only creates problems. So when you're doing that, when you're up here too much, you're disconnected from your soul. You're disconnected from your spiritual self.
hmm. So that affects your seventh chakra.
Mhm.
Your sixth chakra is, especially if you're empathic, you're overthinking too much. And all of a sudden, what happens is your throat chakra becomes shut down. It's literally shut down because especially if you have not learned how to say no, your heart want to be here, there, and help everybody, but you know you can't be everywhere. So that's going to affect your self esteem.
Yes.
And then also your second chakra is like fighting with your heart because they can't figure out who is more important. And then your first chakra says, oh man, what happened to my joy? Where's my health? Where's my family? Where's the support? And then all of a sudden the body has a major meltdown.
So it's very similar to when we used to. I mean, a lot of people are traveling right now, but when the airline attendant says, put your mask on first. If you're traveling with small children, put your mask on first and then attend to the children. And that's very much the same with, taking care of yourself, because if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't in turn around and take care of anyone else.
Very, very true. So when you start to, people ask me, what's the first thing you do when you start to be in a spiritual crisis? Ask yourself, especially when you're in conflict,
Mm,
ask yourself, how is this task, this thought, how is it serving you?
mm.
Is it elevating your energy, maintaining your energy, or are you digressing?
Yes. And how are you feeling? Like, are you feeling happy? Are you feeling joyful?
Mhm.
Are you feeling energized? When the music comes on, are you grooving? Like those feelings are when you're in your soul space and you're connecting. Don't you feel like, because when you meet someone or you know someone or somebody in your family is having a bad day, immediately they're disconnected. They're disconnected.
Oh,
And, in order to get to that soul level and to be in touch with your spirituality, nothing to do with religion, you need to be in this vibe. Like I call it like a vibration. Like you're in a love vibration. Like, yeah, a love vibration. I'm sure someone wrote a song about that. Sounds like something from the 70s, right?
And think about it. And not only are you're in vibration with your family and your friends, but you're also in vibration with the universe.
Yes. And when you're in that place, notice how you are counting your blessings, how you're feeling grateful.
Mm-hmm.
When you're, noticing the small things and, the small good things, not the small, the small bad stuff. You're in a good place, and being able to stay in that place no matter what's going on around you. That's the trick. That is the trick to being really connected with your spirituality.
Well, you're also talking about how do you sustain what you have, because you might have fleeting moments of spirituality or owning your spirit, your own spirit. I think for most people, Robin, they have a really tough time. Once you have it, how do you keep it?
Well, I don't think it's, in my opinion, I don't think you can keep it and stay in it every day. I think it's just like everything else in life. It ebbs and flows.
Yeah, it does.
And I think, some days you're going to have an amazing day and everything feels good and wonderful. And no matter what comes your way, you're able to handle it. And then, you wake up the next day and you're in a bad mood or for no reason, or, so I think that's normal, and accepting that that's part of just being human.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I think if you can manage it to the point where you could reset quicker.
Yes.
And come back to the middle, that is really important, because I remember, at the beginning of my journey, I used to, once I had a bad day, that was it. I was doomed. I was really doomed, especially if I got depressed at the same time. And one of the things, a lot of my depression, and I would say a lot of depression is caused by in the moment, like something in your head just triggers off insecurity or fear, because your body is so used to a particular response. And then all of a sudden I end up spiraling down. But one of the things, I catch myself before I enter into that, walk through the door of darkness.
Yes.
I catch myself before I hit bottom.
And that's, you've had years of working on this consciously. And I think that's something that, people need to learn. They need to take classes. It should be taught in kindergarten, in my opinion.
I agree.
Like yoga and meditation. It's something that we need to learn. And it's also accepting our shadow side, accepting our dark moods, being able to say, you know what, I don't have to be on every day. I don't have to be perfect. I can be in a bitchy mood if I feel like it, and being okay with that. I think owning that is how you are able to get out of it quicker. Do you think? I think if you're like, yeah, I'm in a bitchy ass mood today, and let everybody know it, and then you're like, okay, done. Moving on.
Yeah, and that's very true, Robin. And I think, and anyone, if you have opinions about this, please say something, okay? Jump in, make a comment. But I really believe you also need the shadow aspect of your personality, because if you're, not that I could say anyone's always in la la land, but if you're always in you never learn lessons either.
It's true. And we all have lessons to learn. We're all a work in progress.
Exactly. And if you don't have shadow moments, I really believe once you encounter something difficult and you go, I don't have the skill set.
Right.
I'm going to say something here. Like I believe in my son's generation, especially if they grow up in an environment that's very well supported and loved, which everybody should be. But we spend so much time protecting our children. So when they hit a bump in the road, all of a sudden the hand goes up, and like you would think like the deer, the light in the deer's eyes, and they really don't know what to do.
And how have you helped your kids when that situation arises? Or how did you?
Well,
They're grown ups now, but I'm sure they still come to you once in a while.
they still do. They get in the bind. I'm not, how can I say this? I'm not one of those lovey-dovey mommies that say, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that." See, you are, Robin. You're a different kind of mommy, and I'm trying to be more like a mommy like you.
Oh, thank you. And I need to be more like a mommy like you.
Yeah, it's kind of, you need that mix. So I'm trying hard not to be a hard ass mom. So I'm one of those people because I've had to learn so many things on my own. It's like, okay, let's talk about the steps. Talk about the steps of get you from A to B, B to C. So this way it's not overwhelming. So even with clients who come to the healing place, all I do is give people options on how they could shift their energy for improvement if that's what they're looking for. I just give them options. I never come out and tell anyone what to do.
Yes.
Because the journey is yours. And I'm
yes.
just accompanying you on your journey.
Yes, you can make suggestions and hope that people follow through. And yeah, I agree. And what about when someone is having a spiritual crisis or a meltdown or they're in a bad mood? What do you think is a normal time frame for them to be in that place and get out? Not that it's normal, because people can stay in those places for months or years even.
Exactly.
So, what do you suggest
I think
for tools to help people? Like what kind of time should they be spending and researching to help themselves?
Well, here, Julie is saying she practices self-awareness. And a lot of that awareness is also learning to own your shadows. So when people have meltdown, people think, especially if you're a very productive person, people always say, you're not allowed to break down. You're supposed to be the leader. You're not allowed to do those things. And that's what causes more crises than anything else, because everyone has such an expectation of you and you have the expectation of yourself. You feel like you can't give your permission to explore another aspect of you.
And I think that's a very important thing to do. I think, especially people who have been on a certain path for a long time, that it's okay to explore other options. And I see my friend Julie here popped on, and she's exploring some exciting new things. And I think when we get to a certain age where we have to allow ourselves to, reflect on what we really want and how much time do we have left on this planet. And what do we want to do to make ourselves happy? And how are we going to go about making ourselves happy? I recently took one of my kids aside with a big piece of paper and drew a couple of lines and said, let's design your next 6 months.
Wow.
And I felt like there was a little bit of a helicopter parent in me, but I try not to be that person. But I really felt that at this particular time in the world right now with what's happening, let's focus on these particular dates, these goals, and just be aware. And I made this
great.
Take out their cell phone and put the dates in their phone, everything, and to put reminders. I think sometimes we need our friends, our family, our mentors. Like Helen will give me a deadline and say, okay, I want this,
Yeah,
we all need that help. We all need that help.
Yeah, and I think that's really a great thing to do, Robin, because if you don't project a date, the end date could be 10 years from now.
Exactly. And the other thing too is like a date is a date. The date can be moved.
Exactly.
It's progress, not perfection. I don't know who came up with that quote, but the date can be moved, but you're working towards something, or you have an idea that, some dates can't be moved. There are some deadlines that can't be moved. Although I have to say, one of my kids years ago was applying for college, and she totally missed the deadline, totally forgot to send her transcripts, totally and still called, got everything in. And even though she was late and late and late, she still got in.
See?
So deadlines are deadlines, but you know what? You can always work with them.
Exactly.
And that's where you have to really connect with your tools, right? Figuring things out.
So that's the takeaway that I want to share with you before Robin does her meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Allow yourself flexibility, but also develop a schedule of what you like to do.
Yes. Find out what you need to do. Not what you need to do, but what you want to do.
What you want to do, but stick to it.
Yes.
Really stick to it. Own your spirituality and really rise to your occasion.
Yes. Sign up for those classes. Join us at the Healing Place Energy School. Like I have this book right here. Take a Reiki class. Learn different tools to help yourself.
Exactly. And once we could go live again in person, we're going to teach Reiki at the Healing Place.
In person is so much fun.
Oh my God. We'll so kick butt. So anyways, so Robin, do you want to set up for meditation and I'll get my hot hands going?
Yes, let's do that, everyone. So set an intention. Helen's going to send out Reiki while we're doing the meditation. So whoever's listening, whether it's you can still get the same benefits whether you're listening to this live or recorded. So just set an intention for what you want out of this meditation. I'm going to do a nice 10, 12-minute grounding meditation. But think, what do you want for your spirit? What do you want for your soul? How do you want to move forward connecting with your higher self? So everyone, I'm just going to turn the lights down a little bit because it's hard for me to get into the mood. This is one of the tools that I use. I turn the lights down and I just get really comfortable. So get as comfortable as possible. You can see my meditation stool that I use over there behind. Oh, nope, that way, right there. So get as comfortable as possible. If you're sitting in a chair, put your feet firmly on the floor. If you're lying down, just notice the weight of your feet. And rest your hands in your lap, palms up. If you're lying down, just have your arms lying by your side with your palms up. And gently close your eyes. And taking a nice deep inhale. And exhale. Relax your shoulders. Remember, it's perfectly normal to have thoughts going through your mind during meditation. The key to becoming present in the moment is to really focus on your breathing in the and now. So really pay attention to the air flowing in and out of your nose. Take a nice deep inhale in and out. Relax those shoulders. If at any time during the meditation you need to take another nice deep inhale and exhale, please do. You don't need to wait for my instruction to do that if you feel the need arise in your body. Notice the rise and fall of your chest. Relax your neck. Relax your jaw. Notice the temperature around your body. Notice the weight of your body. Continue to breathe nice and slowly, nice and normally. If for some reason it's uncomfortable for you to breathe through your nose, you can breathe through your mouth. I want you to be as comfortable as possible. Notice the space that you're in. Perhaps you hear noises outside the room. Notice the sensations flowing through your body. Bring your attention to your hands. Let them relax. Notice the temperature of your hands. And notice the beautiful space that you are in. You are sitting in relaxation, allowing your body to rest. You're bringing your attention to your breathing. In the space that you are in, you are connected to the entire universe. The space around you, the space within you is connected to the energy of the earth and the energy and the magic that is the universe. And just relax into that space that is you. Notice the beating of your heart. Notice the wonderful energy that is in side of you, and that is all around you. This is your magic, your beautiful self. Just taking a nice deep inhale into you. Inhale and exhale. Notice the weight of your body. Now begin to wiggle your toes. Feel the energy coming back into your legs. Just move your ankles a little bit. Notice the energy coming up your legs just from that small movement. Or notice your hips, and just if you're sitting up in your seat, just adjust your hips a little bit. If you're lying down, just move your back a little bit. Notice your spine. Notice your shoulders. Just roll your shoulders back and forward, just gently. Notice your hands again. Bring your mind and your thoughts to your hands. Just wiggle your hands. Bring the energy up into your arms. Move your neck slightly if that's comfortable for you. Relax your forehead. And slowly open your eyes. And taking a nice deep inhale and stretch your arms out and just notice your space, that magical space that you are in. That's your beautiful self, your energy.
What a lovely meditation, Robin. Thank you so much for that.
I hope everyone was able to relax.
Yes, I really think these meditation help you to find your spirituality, come back home to you.
Yes.
And don't forget about the valuable resources that I'm going to put in a box. And next week, please join Robin and me again, same day, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to talk about what makes a soul up. What is your soul? What is it? Because we talk about soul, purpose, soul, but what is a soul?
Yes. Think about that over the next week.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll see you next week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and be mindful.
Yes. Keep noticing your breathing.
Yes. Bye-bye, everybody. See you next week.